Hello. Welcome to Coffee with Curmudgeons. I am Doc Normal. We are here on Wednesday. We haven't been doing some Wednesdays, but we are here. And I'm still adjusting my camera. And we're, most importantly, folks, hello, Periscope. We're back on Periscope. Hi, Periscope. I'm here with my co-host, David Hasselhoff. How you doing, Hoff?
I'm doing good. I just, parked a kid outside, and I decided I was going to come on down here and hang out, maybe cut a German music video, for the kids. The kids love it.
Would you be doing a little... Oh, look what... This is...
Yes.
I just adjusted this camera perfectly, and, and the thing hits... I gotta fix this. Yeah. This is driving me crazy. It's like, and it's. I did all this stuff. There's a bigger monitor over here.
Yeah,
people can't see,
beautiful,
so I can actually see better. And and I'm wearing a different shirt.
Right.
Something I practically got out of the Goodwill bin of my closet. And and I, and then it hits the thing, and I gotta move this over. I gotta go move this over here. Take 5 minutes and move it over, so it doesn't do that. But anyway. Where was I? Oh, German music video, something that might end in right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Allen.
Hello, good morning.
Sorry to disappoint you. He's not Hasselhoff.
I'm sorry. I'm only...
Fix your camera, too.
I'm only 37.5% powered by the Hasselhoff. So I've got a little Hoff in me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to think, I like to think that everybody has a little Hasselhoff in them. Except for the anti-Hasselhoff.
Oh. What's the anti-Hasselhoff? Is that the one that orders a burger hungover in a hotel room? I'm sorry.
No,
that was definitely the anti-Hasselhoff.
Yeah,
Give me a burger!
Give me a burger.
Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, folks.
My
this was uncalled for.
I have identified, though, an anti-Hasselhoff.
Yeah?
Believe it or not, after... we sent our interns, the crack R&D department, out there to unearth the anti-Hasselhoff. I have figured it out.
What is it?
Well, the anti-Hasselhoff... You want me to name him or her? You want me to just put it out there?
It's not Deep Throat, is it?
No.
No, okay.
No. I can say with 97.8% certainty.
Climatologists agree.
Okay. That the anti-Hasselhoff is...
Yes?
Emo Phillips.
Emo Phillips?
I'm just... Yeah. Oh my
gosh.
I'm throwing that out there. I'm going to set that right there and walk away.
That's a blast from the past.
It is.
Emo
See,
Phillips.
You thought he was gone, didn't you?
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Emo Phillips.
Emo's back with a vengeance.
Right there with the Carrot Top and... who I believe is still around doing comedy. Who was the guy? Pauly Shore. I just saw a thing.
He was in town
the other day. Pauly Shore was in town, and I'm just like, no.
I wasn't aware he was still alive, let alone in the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
No.
Well, if I had it, Elaine Boozler would go out and resurrect Sam Kinison, and bam.
Elaine Boozler. There's another name.
I loved her.
Okay, if you're
She was one of my favorites.
If you're gonna throw out Elaine Boozler, I'm gonna throw out a Paula Poundstone.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah. She was interesting. Paula Poundstone. Yeah. Yeah. She had some interesting things going on. See, this isn't working. I'm trying to fix it.
Right. Hey everybody, welcome to 90s comedian talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's like, what?
I'm your host, Bob Saget.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's right. He was on those things, too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he works kind of blue now, too.
Does he really?
Yeah, he's not like the dad from Full House. He's like the crazy uncle from Full House, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So he's basically like, he found, Richard Pryor's old book and was like, hey, these are some good jokes. Monkey in the Air. I love it.
Or maybe he was possessed by the spirit of Sam Kinison.
No idea what I'm talking about. I know, Sam, man.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
Yeah. There's some interesting videos online of Sam Kinison that you're like, oh, I didn't know he wore that blue.
No, yeah.
That blue.
Oh, it wasn't really blue. It was charcoal gray at that point. Mm-hmm. And, really interesting, though, about him where his roots are. Because did you know, folks? Did you know this little nugget on a Wednesday morning for you to process?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Sam Kinison, before being a comedian, was
Preacher.
He was a preacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those fire and
Where
brimstone.
he got that screaming voice and all that. Not everyone likes Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
And and then Dice Clay is doing Woody Allen movies.
Wow, yeah. Yeah.
For real. I mean, I was like, what was that movie with the... I want to say Kate Blanchett, I want to say. Oh, the name of that movie from a couple of years back. It was Dice Clay doing his thing.
Huh.
Hey, what you doing that time? Meanwhile,
Heavy,
my girlfriend. No, he wasn't doing that.
Heavy Flatbush accent,
Yeah.
Wee.
Was it him and Poundstone or one of them? I don't know. Got into it. I mean, there's a lot of misogyny, feminism, all that stuff, and that was there was some things there. I think because it was kind of like, some of those. That was 20 years ago when things were like, maybe that's not quite the joke we want to do there, Dice.
Right? Yeah, we don't want to dish the dirt here. We're not going to dish the dirt, but there are things. There are things that are being said. Yeah. There are things.
Well. As John Lennon would say, this is a Wednesday.
That's right.
And how did you know? I don't know.
I don't know if he ever said it that inflection, though. It's a Wednesday.
What is that
All
song?
you need is love.
What is that song? Something. Well, this is. I don't know. I don't know my John Lennon.
I don't know.
It's a pretty song.
Yeah.
But anyway, So we're kind of actually, truth be told, we're kind of talking about not having coffee with curmudgeons Monday, Friday, great days.
Yeah.
For Monday was great, man. And something else that we failed to notice on Monday.
Okay.
So after the show's done and wrap everything up, and it's in the evening hours, and I'm running errands and get home for the dinner and all that stuff. I had the KMHD radio, jazz radio on. Right.
Yes.
And it was. All the John Coltrane, just tons of John Coltrane, which is great. But you're like, hey, somebody likes John Coltrane over there at KMHD, right?
It was his,
tons and tons of
birthday.
No.
Or his death day.
Remember our 1967. 50 years ago. 1967 was 50 years ago.
Okay.
We are hitting all sorts of 1967 milestones. We had Jimi Hendrix with his first record and all that. 1967, July 17th is when John Coltrane passed away.
That's right.
He died.
Death day, right?
Yeah. And so they, it's all this John Coltrane stuff, Love Supreme and, all the things.
A Love Supreme.
Oh, yeah. That's the first track. As somebody pointed out, it's like, that's not a Love Supreme. It's like, yeah, it is. It's a Love Supreme. Da, 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 da. It's the riff. He plays around with the riff on the soprano for about 10 minutes, and then he does a thing, and then they break into they start singing it. And it's like, yeah, but that's the first track called Ascension or something. I can't remember. I know. I should know. I'm a jazz guy. But yeah, it was good. But I was like, wow, John Coltrane. There you go. Another 1967. Like 1967. The reason we bring this up is 50 years ago. 67 was so much happened.
Summer of Love, man.
Yeah. You're looking pretty high and far out there, aren't you?
Summer of Love. 67 was Tet, too, right?
Oh, gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a nice anniversary, the Tet Offensive. I mean, that was a...
kind of a history, dude. Vietnam. It's filled with macabre nuggets,
Vietnam was kind of really...
Yeah. Ramping up.
Hitting his, peaking up at 67, 68, and wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful thought.
Well.
But Coltrane, I think he had I thought he's cancer, brain, I think.
Something like that.
I think that's what he died from. It's really sad. And just like Beethoven, just like these guys, right up to the last, he's putting out just some groundbreaking albums. Like by that time in the 60s, right? 67, Peace, Love, Psychedelic. He's putting out he's right there with them in the 60s with the avant-garde jazz, right? Out jazz. And so there's an album that I was not familiar with, which I should have been. trumpeter Don Cherry and John Coltrane, and they were playing some stuff off there. Now, Don Cherry, he was the trumpeter with Ornette Coleman, and that was, Ornette Coleman, we kind of think of him as the avant-garde, 60s, kind of playing those out-modal kind of things. But Coltrane was right there with
Fusion
him.
before it was fusion.
Yep. Yeah, and then fusion comes along.
Yeah.
Then you get Miles Davis. He throws down his horn and takes all his toys and decides in 1969 that he wants to be Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
Thus, fusion is born. Right. But up to that point, you have like Coltrane and But anyway, Don Cherry was a big avant-garde jazz trumpet player.
Yeah.
And he they did a really good. That was very good. If you like, jazz, there's lots of jazzes.
Yeah.
So if you say I don't like jazz, there's lots of jazzes.
Yeah.
That just like kind of rock. There's lots of different rockses. Yeah. There's lots of jazzes. So I mean, there's like Louis Armstrong, but Louis Armstrong isn't Ornette Coleman,
right?
Or Miles Davis doing "Bitches Brew," that sort of thing in a silent way. I mean, or Al Di Meola and Benny Goodman. I mean, that's totally different jazzes music. Right. So there's a lot of diversity, a lot of things that you could listen to.
Yeah.
So Coltrane is one of them.
There's even a much. I mean, people know it now, but it's not much practiced anymore. The famous sort of jazzercise. I'm kidding. But I jest.
The rhythms are very aerobic in that.
That's right. That's right.
Heart-stopping chords, heart-stopping progressions, and aerobic polyrhythms. Jazzercise is your jazz. Nice. Get
out your leg warmers.
People really... Only people have to be us to get our inside jokes.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, yeah, so it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
And what happens on Wednesday is we come in here with a clear head.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Tom Cruise. See,
thank you, Mr. Cruise.
You can just ring that. It's like, what was that joke? Clear head. Don't worry about it. You'll learn it, figure it out later. So we have nothing. We're just like, we're Dougie Jones on the new Twin Peaks.
We're Dougie Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Monitor.
Right.
I still can't say enough about Twin Peaks and Kyle MacLachlan. If you are a fan, maybe even if you don't like Twin Peaks, although it's hard for me to understand someone who likes Kyle MacLachlan but doesn't like David Lynch because he's such a fixture in David Lynch films. But this guy, his acting in this thing, it is probably, I would say, his best thing, and that's he's done great work.
Yeah.
And he's playing a couple dual roles. And this role that he plays, he basically out Rain Man's Rain Man. I mean, that is really
hard to do.
That is exactly right. This last one here, he's sitting there and eating a piece of cake, and his wife's kind of staring at him. And she says something, and he turns and looks at his wife, played by Naomi Watts.
Okay.
And he turns and looks at his wife, and his blankness in the stare on the camera. I studied a tiny bit of acting, tiny little bit. I took like an acting class or two.
Method acting.
Method acting. Yes, it was. You have no idea how hard it is to pull that off.
Oh yeah.
Like you're sitting there, and it's hard to even imagine that's Kyle MacLachlan because he's a thinking, speaking, interesting sort of person. But you look at him, and it's like that guy's lost his marble. There is not a marble in that head. The blankness that, and he's been doing this for this whole role. And then he plays another character that's entirely evil. But I can't say enough about his performance. I mean, I just said that last night. It's like just that scene right there where he doesn't say anything. That's the hardest thing to act.
Yeah.
Because you have to sell it on the screen.
Very true.
And selling it on the screen is not easy.
No. No. That sort of.
But you hate him because you met him and he was a jerk to you, right?
No, he was very very warm and kind.
Okay.
But nice guy, yeah.
On air he was warm and kind.
Oh, yeah. Off air? No, he was...
I'm starting a Jason Allen, Kyle MacLachlan feud.
No, but both him and Fred... It's the Allen MacLachlan feud. It's like Hatfields and McCoys, except...
He's going to have to call in at some point. This is Kyle MacLachlan. I need to clear some things up. I'm a very nice man. I am an actor, but I try to treat everyone with respect on the set.
No, both him and Fred Armiston I found. And,
really?
Yeah, and... It was very rare, too.
And Fred has a reputation for...
Well, he was nice to me.
Okay,
we sat and we act. Kyle, him, and I, we were off the site on a sidewalk during the Bigot Parade, and we act for, I'd say 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We were just hanging out and talking and stuff, and they seemed very kind and engaged. And it wasn't like, hey, guy, get away from me, you know, we're Hollywood. Nice
well,
guys.
if you were sitting there yakking with me on the corner... That's what I would do. I was like,
get away from me.
I'm Hollywood.
Where's my assistant? Come on.
I have a podcast on Periscope. I'm somebody.
Don't you know who I am?
NuzBox badge.
That's right. That's right. I'm kind of used to the badge now. I like it. It's like
I was thinking I should put it on. I think we need to redesign it with a badge. You know, we talked about Dragnet on Monday with an actual badge, NuzBox. You know, 714. Was it 714? Did I nail that?
Maybe 714.
I think that was. I think that was his officer's number.
It's almost like we're showing up at people's doors, but it's on their computers, obviously. But we're showing up at people's doors, like, ma'am, may we come into your house for a second? And there we are. We're sitting in there doing our podcast right in front of them. We got our badges on.
Right.
Just the facts, ma'am. You know?
I want to actually look that up.
Get my little pad out.
714. Doc nails it.
There you go.
Right here. Look, Sergeant. Let's see. Where's a good picture of it? Here, let's take a picture. This is a still from the show.
Bum, 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 bum. Ooh. There we go. Look at that.
View. Full screen, Doc. Do we know how to operate our computer? You know, this is fine. Okay. This is fine.
This is fine.
So here it is right here. See?
There you go.
There it is. That's the opening from the Dragnet.
Yeah.
Badge 714. Sergeant, Los Angeles Police. 714.
When you see that badge, you know serious things are going on.
Serious things are going on. You know? Believe me.
Yeah.
So basically, just behind the scenes. So we had this. All right. So we had the big tech problem, which involved
tech talk with
some
Doc.
equipment, and I talked about that on Monday. The stuff arrived, put it in, boom, everything. It's going fine. We're back on Periscope. Everything's fine, and there's other stuff. So everything's fine again. But we talked about. I know,
that's going to be the name of today's show. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's the meme with the dog with the coffee and the coffee shop's on fire. Yeah, this is fine. So that's what's going on. But we have talked about how Mondays and Fridays seem to be really smoking great days. And Wednesday's this hump day where we're just sitting here kind of twiddling our thumbs. You know, it could be like cleanup day, like we could go back and amend Monday and say, well, we forgot that John Coltrane, that happened Monday.
Right.
All right. There's something else I said that I think it wasn't accurate, but I can't remember.
I'm sure there's a whole lot of things I said that weren't even in the neighborhood of accurate.
It wasn't, it wasn't inaccurate as in we will be bombing Russia in 3 minutes. This is your message. Who said that?
Right. What? Okay.
We will be bombing Russia in 3. I should actually pull up the exact quote.
Oh, bombing Russia in 3 minutes. Oh, I think that's, wasn't that Ronald Reagan?
Ronald Reagan!
When he thought his mic wasn't hot?
Mm-hmm. He was doing a mic check for his radio show.
Right.
And he,
everybody.
That went out live over the air. Good old Ronnie.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, though, is you didn't say anything flagrant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just garden variety,
Well, if there's something that's really insanely wrong, I'll try to correct it. But it's like actually mostly accurate.
Gotcha. We hold ourselves to high standards,
we
people.
will bomb Russia in 5 minutes, is what he said. I'm sorry, I just got distracted here.
Yeah.
We gotta hear this.
Okay, let's do that.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Okay, somebody put that on there. But somebody put that extra on. But that is the soundbite. That actually went out over there. And you hear the people laughing in the background.
Yeah.
You imagine, I mean, this... Why has Trump not done that? Well, we know why.
No.
But he could have said, you know...
He does do it.
He'd be like, yeah, he does it on Twitter every day.
We just call that Thursday.
Maybe Trump is just... his Twitter is just his Reagan's faux pas on the...
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. Reagan tells Soviet jokes.
Really?
Collecting stories that are told in the Soviet Union by their people among themselves, which reveal they've got a great sense of humor, but they've also got a pretty cynical attitude toward their system.
Now we're doing turning left,
again.
right?
I told it in the car.
What?
I didn't tell this to Gorbachev.
Okay.
You know, there's a 10-year delay in the Soviet Union of delivery of an automobile. And only 1 out of 7 families in the Soviet Union own automobiles. There's a 10-year wait. And you go through quite a process when you're ready to buy.
Get to the punchline, Ronnie.
Come on, put up the money in advance. And this happened to a fella, and this is their story that they tell.
Oh, God.
This joke. That this man, he laid down his money, and then the fella who was in charge said to him, okay, come back in 10 years and get your car. And he said, morning or afternoon? And the fellow behind the counter said, well, 10 years from now, what difference does it make? And he said, well, the plumber's coming in the morning.
Oh, God. All right. Well, there's your Ronald Reagan joke of the morning, folks.
Conserva joke.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do a whole mashup here. Best Putin jokes.
Ooh.
Did you see the one we didn't talk about? This was several weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Putin does his live TV thing, call-in show. He does his own Periscope, his own call-in show on live Russian television.
Okay.
And people call in and ask him questions. I think I think there's an audience and they ask questions. It's like a big Oprah Putin show. But they call it, yeah. It's a. I want to say it's a once a year. I think he does one around the holidays, or maybe it's a twice a year.
Tell me he wears one of those Christmas sweaters, please.
Maybe
little reindeers, little hammer and sickle on there.
But he did one of these. He did one of these things. Maybe it was just a press conference. I'm not sure. Not the call-in.
You got me going for a minute, man. I want to see
he tries to be accessible. The Putin.
And
And so
him and his captive audience.
Yeah.
You will clap.
Only in Russia. So someone asks him, what was it about? About relations between the United States and Soviet Union and Syria in particular.
Yeah.
And it's like, it seems like, they're drawing the line and they're chasing and planes are targeting each other, right? The proxy war here with the Russians, it's kind of scary. They got nukes, we got nukes. And he literally said, "Don't worry, be happy," and so immediately people put that to song.
Bobby McFerrin.
It was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, be happy.
I have to find that one.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I should actually pull it up, but anyway. But so there was that.
Don't worry, be happy.
Putin, don't worry, be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here it is. If this comes up.
Don't worry, be happy.
Oh, this was the Megyn Kelly interview. That's what he said. That was during the Megyn. I'm not sure what question he asked, but that was during the Megyn Kelly interview. That was his answer.
Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, it's man, I dropped it. I mean, it's You can't make this crap up, folks. And this is
No.
reality 2017. You thought 1967 was crazy with the psychedelics and the high and far out and the free jazz and the free Jefferson Laird playing and the Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
You're living in 2017. It's weirder.
Oh, 217, folks. 2017 is an acid trip. I mean, that's what it is. It's full on. They should just say 2017 LSD. That's
right.
what it is.
That's right. I mean, it's like
tune in, turn on, and drop out.
well, no, Jason.
What?
No. What you should do
Don't
is you should
worry.
be happy. That's what you should do.
I'll try. Thanks, Putin.
I think I need to evergreen that. You're just gonna be doing turning left, like right in the middle. Richard will be doing his monologue, and it'll be like,
Don't worry. Be happy.
You know what? I'm gonna lay this down here right now. I promise you, I'm gonna make a solemn promise to you right now that during today's Turning Left show,
We'll use it.
I'm gonna work that in.
Of course you will. Of course you will. You should.
Yes,
You should.
I am. I'm gonna work that in.
Yeah.
In fact, I already know how I'm gonna set it up. The wheels are turning, man. But
Don't worry. Be happy.
It's just his delivery is just like you got. I mean, he's given Bobby McFerrin a run for his money on that one.
Did you notice he did it rhythmically too,
You
like the
just-
song? Don't worry.
Okay, so
Be
he's
happy.
getting ready. He's getting ready for Megyn Kelly's interview, right?
Oh yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and he probably has attachés and all of that. There's probably a guy, because he's wearing a kind of a maroon red tie. He's looking good. He's a nice silk suit, it looks like. Yeah, white cream shirt he's wearing in that interview. Hairs look way better than mine. He's got a haircut. So he's got people backstage. There's people miking him up, of course.
Of course.
But then they're hiding the mic and they're doing that.
Yeah.
And then they're probably, they probably have one of those rollers.
Oh, you lent? Yeah. They're yeah.
Always lynch your people before they go out.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. President, please lend me a roller you. There's probably an official. You probably could get that job in Russia.
Ooh.
You're the lint roller
Executive
Putin guy.
lint roller.
Yeah, for Putin.
Could be.
Kremlin lint roller dude. What would it probably has a fancy name, you know?
Everyone's got to have a dream.
Static cling removal engineer.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Follow me, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably doing this backstage, getting him in the green room. He's probably in the green room.
Oh yeah.
He probably has a writer. I wonder what Putin's.
I don't know if he's got I'm sure he's got a green room for the guests, but he's got his own palatial, like.
He's got a writer though.
Wow.
You know what I
I'd
mean?
love to see his writer.
Think about it.
Avant
2
borscht.
dozen fresh spring flowers
Ooh.
from Lithuania.
Yes.
2 ice encased bottles of Stolichnaya.
Oh.
6 glasses for Stolichnaya, right?
They have to be chilled, right?
Well, they're in
Frosty.
They're in yes, yeah, in a bucket of ice with the ice, and 2 dozen toast tips.
There's got to be caviar, right?
Beluga,
Because he likes just saying just saying the word beluga.
yeah, beluga
So, I mean,
caviar.
Yeah, beluga.
And 2. No, don't go there. A horse and
Right.
and no brown M&Ms.
No brown M&Ms.
No brown M&Ms.
No brown M&Ms.
Does,
We want the red M&Ms.
the
All red.
only red M&Ms, and not with the peanuts because I have a slight peanut allergy.
No.
So he's back there in the green room eating his beluga caviar. They're lint rolling him.
Yeah.
And there's their piped in music. The music. What do they
What
used
do
to?
you-
We
what
used
do
to
you
call
think
it Muzak, right?
Yeah, what do you think they're pumping in over there for him?
Well,
You think it's like Earth, Wind, and Fire, or maybe some...
Earth, Wind, and Fire would be good.
Or War?
Yeah.
Not a little too political for him?
See,
Bobby McFerrin.
It's the serious. It's the whatever they have. You know, you when you have a restaurant or you have a venue, you buy the what we used to call the Muzak box. Yeah. There's a way you have to do it for licensing. Like you either turn on the radio and you're fine, and you play the commercials and everything.
Yeah.
And you're okay, and you don't have to pay for that because that's commercial-free radio.
Yeah.
Or if you want to pipe in music, you have to pay a license, so you have to pay a service.
Right.
And so the best way to do that is you pay a service. It's like Sirius or whatever, and it's just for business, and you just put the box in, and then you can select from the different stations. They got the oldies and various other things. You know, oldies, Motown.
Okay.
You know,
okay. Yeah.
they have the classical station, the Bach and the Baroque. You know, Mozart, Beethoven.
I think he's doing Rachmaninoff over there.
They could, because they could put the dial on that, and you know, the venue pays a monthly on that box, which pays all the licensing, music licensing, and all that to make it happen. So you're okay because you're actually playing that as a performance for the people in the venue. That's how music licensing copyright works, right?
Gotcha.
Again, if you don't want to do all that, turn on the radio, turn it on a radio station, and you're okay because it's free over the air, and it has commercials, and they pay for that music to go over the air. But if you don't just want to play music, so usually, like I think. They probably had an 80s station.
Like
So they had
Katrina and the Waves.
Katrina and the Waves.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Yes, I'm walking on sunshine. You have the Romantics after that.
Yeah.
Here.
The secrets that you see, that's all up at Putin's LA2. Venue talking.
Probably for...
What I like about you.
Yes, probably for the Russian crowd, Der Kommissar.
Come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear.
Right.
At this moment, you mean everything.
And then Sting, do the Russians love their children
Vaccine.
too? Do the Russians love their children too? What is this crap? Could you change the station?
Change it.
Of course we love our children. What is this Sting?
We want... wake me up before you go.
So... This is playing.
Putin don't want to go solo.
They're dusting him out. You know, their lint thing. He's getting ready. He's all mic'd up. He's ready to walk out on stage for this Megyn Kelly interview. Oh, what's the last song that's playing in the green room?
Don't be happy.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Right.
So, dude is walking out, and in his head, he's got...
Don't worry, be happy.
Right?
Happy.
He's like, I got this in my head. It's stuck in my head. It's an earworm. You know what an earworm is, right? The earworm is that song that gets stuck in your head. You hear it, or you think of it, and you cannot get it out of your head.
No.
So he's walking out doing this. How long was this? An hour, 2 hour interview with Megyn Kelly?
They boiled it down to an hour, but it wasn't live, right? I think it was at least
they
2
boiled
hours.
it down to an hour because later he's like, I'm walking on sunshine.
That's it. Stay around.
Yeah.
Stick it around for Putin karaoke.
Megyn, I hear the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep.
Really? We have you tape. We tape you. We know your secrets.
It's like, we got to edit this all out, man.
Yeah.
Next time, don't put the 80 station on in the green room before Putin is getting ready for the show. But he had this earworm in his head. He had Bobby McFerrin the whole time he's talking to Megyn Kelly. He's just that, and he's like, you know what you do with the earworm?
Right.
And you're like, it's like, and
Get it out.
Yeah. And what do you do when you get an earworm? Especially when it's something you just, like, I don't know, what would your worst earworm be? Like one that you're like, get this out of my head now.
Oh my gosh, I remember one time when I was back in a green room. No, let's see.
I think "Don't Worry, Be Happy" was a pretty
it was horrible.
I mean, the song, very inventive, fun video. But when that song came out and that song would get stuck in your head, it would be like, one time.
Yeah. All right, lay it on me. I already got my. I remember one. So yeah.
This is secondhand story.
Okay.
But
Okay.
apparently, we had a weekend, good times, Monday morning.
Good times.
Everybody's getting ready for the work. The girlfriend's getting on. I'm getting, it's always, she wakes up earlier than me, right? This was back in the 80s. And I'm in bed, and apparently I am dreaming or having a nightmare, and my foot is doing a tapping motion in the bed, and I'm thinking, "Don't worry,
No,
be happy." No, honest to God,
Freddie.
she said. She goes later that night, and she goes, "Were you dreaming?" And I was like, "Yeah," because you were singing "Don't worry, be happy" in your sleep. I'm like, "No, I wasn't." It's just, "Oh yeah." And you were tapping your foot. Your foot was like doing this.
Yeah.
In the thing. I'm like, well, that was a nightmare.
That was a nightmare. You know what mine was?
Which one?
The only thing I can label it is nefarious. It's nefarious.
Nefarious?
Nefarious. I was going somewhere and you get the car. No, it's not. That's not the song. It was Bop by Hanson. And the reason why I call the whole episode nefarious is because there's somewhere, and I don't know how exactly, but somewhere there's a master plan going on that planted that seed of bop in my brain box. And bop, right? Oh, it took forever to get that sucker.
Oh my gosh!
You know how you combat that though?
How?
Iron Maiden.
Well, yeah.
You turn on Iron Maiden.
Well, that's what you do. You have this gets stuck in your head, and then you run to go find something to combat.
Iron Maiden works.
That thing.
Judas Priest works too, but my favorite is Iron Maiden because you can banish those thoughts in your head by playing "Run to the Hills."
Run to the Hills. I was gonna say what tune?
Run to the Hills.
Run to the Hills.
Yeah. Or maybe some good Motorhead. Lemmy can expel it right out of you.
Yeah,
Ace of Spades,
Ace
bam,
of
it's
Spades.
gone.
Yeah, I mean, that was that would be, that's a rough one, Jason.
It is a rough one.
Yeah, I mean,
or Bieber. Try to get Bieber out of your head. Oh my gosh!
You know what's funny is I just recently saw, I believe, a picture of Hanson.
Yeah, they're all
like they're touring now.
They're middle aged now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They look like Pearl Jam or something at this point.
Yeah, they didn't age too well. You know, I always called them.
I'm trying to find the photo.
Yeah.
Oh, is it this? Like they were like getting back to their tour, and it's like, oh, good, they're back.
Oh, good, they're back.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and it's they have the golden locks and all that, and that's not. I'm trying to find Hanson tour. Hanson 2017. How about that?
Oh, there they are.
Yeah, this one right here.
Oh gosh, we got to see that. Yeah, oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's like this is your, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Hanson. There they are. There they are. They're still not looking. I mean, they weren't that old, so they got to be like, they're not like in their 50s or something. But they're that's Hanson. They're probably doing a couple Stone Temple Pilots covers or something. I don't know. I never paid attention. That song did come on, and you were like, ooh. When and a lot of times they're hit songs.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, Wake Me Up Before You Go gets stuck in your head. Yeah. And it's always in the morning when your girlfriend's it's like, wake me up before you're like, stop it. Stop.
Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Or I'm not going solo.
I know, right? I mean, that's a little bit and here's the thing.
Yeah.
When George Michael passed, I was like, I really, he was good. Great body of work, great musician, great singer, great songwriter. Really, if you listen to his stuff, good stuff.
Hey, you can't deny, even though he cranked out that sort of.
But that "Wake Me Up Before" it was a huge hit. But oh my gosh,
try to get that out of your head.
We could, I could do George Michael without that particular song. I could do the other, the.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. That's a great song, right? Everything she wants, or whatever.
Careless Whispers.
Careless Whispers. I mean, all that stuff. Yeah. Great pop music. Great
faith,
stuff.
Gotta have faith.
Yeah.
Faith.
that's him solo, but all that stuff's great stuff. But the Wake Me Up for the Go-Go, it's like, oh, you hear that once somewhere on, you go to a place, you sit down, you order a burger. In my case, it will be a vegan burger, whatever. Comes on the Wake Me Up, and you're like, I'm never gonna get this out of my head now.
You know what?
I've heard it.
Since we're talking about this, I just literally had a revelation and an epiphany right now. You ready for this? All mindworms are one-hit wonders.
They kind of are. Maybe. Well, I don't know.
Bop.
Yeah, I mean,
although Carol, Wake Me Up Before You Go. That's true.
They can be. I mean, they're not necessarily. I mean, Wham had several hits, and I'm trying to think of anything else that sometimes not Journey, but sometimes a band like that gets stuck in your head.
Don't Stop Believin'.
Yeah.
Saw her in a smoky room.
Like, I'm a wheel in the sky guy,
Me too. See, exactly. I am the any way you want it, that's the way you need. Yeah. I'm that guy. I'm wheel in the sky guy.
Sky keeps on turning.
I don't know where I'll be tomorrow.
Right, Yeah. But don't stop believing.
Right.
I mean, and I think it's because every time you go into a bar with karaoke, someone's got to sing that very, very poorly.
Right.
Like, it actually should be illegal in karaoke bars.
Did you?
We don't have by Oregon ordinance passed by the 2017 legislature. Don't Stop Believing cannot be performed in Oregon karaoke bars. I'm sorry.
Right.
I know you're a trained singer, but you cannot perform this.
Did you see her in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume?
So I would say that. I know there are others though, and I'm waking me up where you go.
Right, said Fred.
Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Yes.
Too sexy. That's Putin's theme song right there.
I was also, the other one would be, what's the name of that band? I'll get it in a second. Right there with Right Said Fred and those guys.
How about Milli Vanilli?
Oh, God. Milli Vanilli, yeah.
Girl, you know it's true.
A lot of the dance kind of stuff.
Yes.
Especially the 80s dance stuff. What the heck am I thinking of? Relax. That's it. Frankie goes to Hollywood. Relax. Don't do it. Which is actually kind of like if you're in the dance club.
Yeah.
And or whatever, in a venue, and that comes on. It's actually a pretty fun song, and it's just like,
Well, it's got that beat. The boom, boom,
and it's got the dirty intention lyrics,
Don't do it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What if Putin took a break? He goes back to the green room.
Yeah.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood's on there. He comes back. Megyn Kelly's like, what would your suggestions be to American diplomats and Russian diplomats to discuss Syria and possibilities of military conflicts between Russia and the United States? I would say, relax. Don't do it. Don't worry. I missed my cue. Okay. We need
we need sound bites.
Don't worry. Be happy.
There you go.
Relax. Don't do it.
How are you feeling, Vlad? How are you feeling today? I'm walking on sunshine.
I feel, since we're talking music.
Yeah.
We could maybe get an earworm going. Some wonderful, wonderful music.
If you say Debbie Gibson, I'm going to scream.
Oh, gosh, that would be another one.
Or what's the other one? Remember there was like dueling? There was Tiffany.
Yeah.
The dueling. You had Debbie Gibson and like Tiffany, and then she that Tiffany, she won up Debbie Gibson by going on a mall tour.
Right.
She didn't play like venues. She played malls.
Right. Well, that was just like Justin Bieber. I mean, it was
I
like
think
kind of
we're alone now.
Well, that was a real song, though.
No, it was.
That was
it's a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover.
It wasn't Del Shannon, right?
I can't remember. It's another one that was a '60s. That is kind
Saw
of
her standing there.
kind of an earworm.
Okay.
Howard Kalin and Mark Volman,
Okay.
Flo and Eddie, the Turtles. So happy together. I mean, that was like...
Imagine me and you. I do. I think about it all the time.
And I love those guys because they were in The Mother's Invention with Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
So they did all sorts of... Go see the... If you can sit through the film, go see the film 200 Motels. You can probably find... That was Frank Zappa's film, shot on video tape on a sound studio, live, much like a podcast. Very interesting. You know, Frank experimenting in film and video just like he did in music, although I would say... I have to say, Frank's film and video experimentation much more experimental than his music. Even though, I mean, his music was, but his music was a little more grounded. The film 200 Motels. Let me put it this way: I found that the documentary that he made years later, called "The Making of 200 Motels," was more interesting than 200 Motels.
No.
I mean, it's really, and it's like 2 hours of Flo and Eddie and Theodore Beichel.
Yes. Brother Theodore?
Walking around, not Brother Theodore, Theodore Beichel. Wasn't he like, didn't he play Fiddler on the Roof? And he was in all kinds of 60s stuff. And walking around the soundstage and just doing crazy stuff in a car. But Flo and Eddie. But happy together.
Happy
that would be one.
Together.
I know this because I wore a T-shirt yesterday, and I had to look at. You know when someone gives you a T-shirt and it has something on it, and I generally look what I do. There's nothing on it.
Yeah.
Because I am non-committal. Like I probably wouldn't even wear a NuzBox T-shirt.
Non-committal. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't
wear a NuzBox T-shirt.
All right, maybe
that is treason, sir.
Maybe I will. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm the guy. I have so much anxiety.
Okay.
That when I go out in public,
it's a statement. You were.
And I'm wearing a T-shirt that has something on it. I feel that I am now making a statement about this that's on my T-shirt, and
it's an endorsement,
that
right?
I have to defend what I'm wearing, and I have to answer questions about it. And so, And lately I've been lucky. I guess when you get older, people give you free T-shirts. Maybe they feel sorry.
They do.
Maybe they think you're homeless. I don't know. Here, do you want a T-shirt? It's like, sure. Is it black? You bet. Oh, it has writing on it. What does this mean?
Hi, welcome to Safeway. On aisle 5. Here, have a free T-shirt.
So the last T-shirt that I wore out that had writing on it, and I wore it for about a year or whatever in the summertime. I was like, oh yeah, this is a great T-shirt. And I had a gray one and a black one.
Yeah.
I got them for free at a bar, and it was a T-shirt for a rum company, and it had like pretty rum stuff on the back, like little. It was for a rum.
Yeah.
Now that I could get behind, I could wear a rum T-shirt because I'd be like, so what is that? It's rum, Jamaican rum.
It's just good times.
Are you with the Jamaican rum? I am, sir.
Who's not with the Jamaican rum? And if you're not, we don't want to know you, right? So, I mean, it just speaks right there. It just says good times.
I have been known to be with the Jamaican rum and some ice and some pineapple and some coconut and some, So there
your
you go.
Lime and your coconut.
Yeah. So they were, And one time my mom saw the shirt and goes, that's a very nice shirt. Where do you get it? I was like, Mom, it's a shirt for a rum company that I got for free at the it was a Christmas party at the tiki bar.
Nice.
And what they did is they gave presents to people. It was like Christmas Eve. Great Christmas Eve. Go to a tiki bar, right? Everyone's home with the family. They're doing the Jean-Luc Picard of generations. Like, Papa, come. I'll be there in a minute. Whoopi Goldberg is giving me messages in this crystal ball on the tree. This is not my beautiful wife. Follow along, folks. Follow
you may
along.
find yourself
Wednesday,
in a shotgun shack.
Get the pop culture references.
Yes. Catch up.
Yeah, when everyone's doing that.
Yeah.
Papa.
Oh, Papa.
Last time I was on the bridge of the Enterprise. What is this place? But no. We go to a tiki bar where only the pros are.
Sure.
Not the amateurs.
No.
And so they had stuff that they like were giving away presents, which was basically like swag that they got from their vendors.
Promotional stuff.
Yeah, you get T-shirts, you get coasters, pitchers, plastic pitchers, shakers, nice shakers, and they're a bar, right? They don't need this crap. They go it's like, yeah, just give it away on Christmas Eve to the people. It's sort of like, what do you? Hey, you want a shaker? Hey, you want a T-shirt? Hey, yeah, that's a nice T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, so I wore that, right? So now I got a vegan T-shirt recently, and it says vegan, and I'm down with that.
Yeah.
But then again, so I still have anxiety going on because vegan is a statement, and I can make it, but I'm not I'm not an evangelist.
You're not a vegan evangelist?
No, I'm not. And that's the image that a lot of people have who aren't vegans.
The outspoken.
Like when you think of vegans. You think of people screaming on the street.
Meat is murder!
Yeah, and there are vegans who do that.
Sure.
I mean, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Not all vegans are like that. Hence me. And others that I know. I mean, it's not that they don't think meat is murder. They do. But they're not the... It's like not all Christians go out on the street corner and scream about Jesus Christ, okay?
They don't?
Not all, no. Some of them have wild sex parties in the Vatican.
Right.
All along the news, folks.
That's right. You take your Catholicism straight with no chaser.
Sorry.
Anyway.
I really should this Catholics.
But
like that's true. I mean, that is a smaller minority of Christians.
Yes.
The evangelicals throwing, screaming around and throwing things. I know Christians that they're not that way.
No.
And so vegans, same thing. It's not like all vegetarians and vegans are screaming around, And so I feel like when you're, if you're not around vegans, right, if you're just out and about, someone's going to go, oh, hey, you're one of those crazy people that screams and yells. And then what am I supposed to do? I need to go to the gym, bulk up, and go, why, yes, I am. Meat is murder. Come at me. I don't know. I'll get you.
What?
But I don't know. So I like my vegan shirt, and I'll probably wear it times and just be like, okay. But, like if you're in the city, if you're in Portland,
sure.
If you're at the New Season, the whole whatever in Portland, you can wear the vegan shirt.
Oh, sure.
There's a lot of people who are going to there. Hey, I'm one too. And then you don't want to talk. Here's the thing. I don't want to talk to people when I'm out. Okay? I don't want to talk to people. So I don't want the T-shirt to spark a conversation. I think that's my anxiety, really. It's okay that I'm saying, look, vegan, this is a neat T-shirt that says vegan. I like it. I would assume that someone who wasn't vegan wouldn't be wearing the T-shirt. But I don't want to spark a conversation.
Right.
I don't want someone to come up and go, hey, are you vegan? No, I'm not. I just got this shirt for free at a tiki bar around Christmas, and I thought I'd wear it.
Okay.
I actually eat barbecue and meat every single day of the week.
I'm
ironic.
I'm gonna get you a T-shirt that says "Don't talk to me." That way, you're on the street, and you're doing your thing, and someone comes up, "Hey, that's okay. I'm not gonna talk to you because you're wearing a shirt."
Okay, here's the thing: there are T-shirt and button ideas that are being submitted to our friends. New venture.
Yes.
And so this is a good idea.
It is a great.
That is a very good idea, Jason. We might put that on the list.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be. I had a good one. I'll tell you off air because I'm not going to say it. I had a good one last night, and I was like, you will love it, but I'm not.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's trade secret, folks.
Trade secret product discussions.
Right.
But yeah.
You're not in the know.
Yeah, don't talk to me,
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. They may never let you.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun. Dio always helps getting the earworms
out. Dio does help.
Yeah.
The man on the Silver Mountain.
There are good earworms, too.
Yeah.
I've known people. Some people don't like Dio. They like
Led Zeppelin's a good
stuff. Led Zeppelin.
A whole lot of love. That will get rid of a mind worm.
Yeah. I just think that there are some that are good. Like the Dio ones for me are good. Like every once in a while, you're just gonna and last in line. You're in line for something, and all of a sudden Dio's like,
you're last
in line. and that's a great song, and that's going through your head, and you're like flames and the devil, and you're just like, and then some guy walks up and with a Jesus Christ T-shirt. It's like, have you heard the good news? And it's like you've got Dio in your head, flames, and it's like, no, I haven't.
No,
holy diver.
Holy diver. I've been down too long in the midnight
screaming, ow, 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 ow.
Right. Or maybe even some Black
really
Sabbath.
Off the oh, yes, of course.
You know, a little Paranoid.
Yeah.
You're walking down the street, you don't want people to talk to you, so you're playing Paranoid.
Yeah, I mean, those are those work. But it's hard. Well, some classical pieces can be that too, like
mood music,
little night music.
Yes,
kind of not like little Mozart or whatever.
Ode to Joy.
Right, that one can get stuck in your head, and then you're like, oh wow.
You know what my favorite soothing music is? Chopin.
Beethoven.
Yeah.
For Elise. Right, that can get stuck.
Or Moonlight Sonata. My favorite though is Chopin. Some of his nocturnes.
Yeah.
That puts me in the mood, dude. You can't, if you're feeling stressed out, Frédéric Chopin will knock you right back into place.
Man. I love Chopin's Nocturnes and Missions. Very fine.
Yeah.
Suites of music.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wasn't that a Clash album?
Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark.
Ooh, OMD!
I just saw that record because I was at the. So, but I think what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
We talked. There's a lot of different jazzes and stuff.
Sure.
And there's some jazz that maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe Dave Brubeck. Maybe Five.
We fight the Vabziari. My needs is your surwa. My needs is your surwa. My needs is your surwa. Yeah.
You're live.
Hey, hello everybody. And guess what? We're back. You know what? Power surges be damned. We rise above. We adapt. We overcome. Yes. Hello, everybody. We are back. Hi. Happy Wednesday to you. This is Coffee with Curmudgeons. I am playing the part of Jason Allen today. The part of Jason Allen will be played by Jason Allen. Hello, everybody. Yeah, we had let me tell you what happened there. Things flickered and boo, went dark, right? And so we had a power surge down here in the NuzBox studios, and usually we have the backup batteries go, kick in, and we're able not to miss a beat. But for some reason, the backup batteries, they decided they wanted to go walkabout this morning, and so it took a little while to get back up and running. But we are live. Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday to you. We were talking about 80s music and mind worms and stuff in your head, and the very first time in my life where I experienced a mind worm, right? The songs that get in your head, man, you just can't get them out. The first time I ever experienced that was the Buggles with Video Killed the Radio Star, right? It was in my head for like 3 days, man. I was going crazy for it until I finally figured out, I was a young lad at the time, I finally figured out I'm going to need to counter this. And so I sat there and I listened to the whole double record without a pause. I listened to Kiss Alive, And by the time we got to rock bottom, I was set free of the mind worm. It's tough though. I mean, it's like you're programmed in a cult, right? You're sitting there, and next thing you know, you got bop in your brain. You can't get it out. You're trying everything you can. Normal commercials won't work. Banging your head up against the wall doesn't work. Sticking a tuning fork in your ear canal itself does not work, folks. And I'm not going to tell you if I tried it or not. You be the judge. But these mind worms, right? And so, folks, if you're listening right now and you're watching, type into the conversation there and ask, or not ask, but tell us what is your mind worm song? What is the one song that just it wouldn't get out of your head, and you just, good Lord, I'm gonna just go screaming off a 40-foot, not 40-foot, a 40 level building, right? What is that?
One.
You got it.
I've
Doc,
got one.
You got it.
I've got one. The night the lights went out in Georgia.
The night the lights went out in Georgia.
Which is what happened right here, right now. So we're back.
Yeah.
That was exciting. We had that happen. This is the second time we had that happen once before, somewhat previous to. It was actually didn't happen.
It was pre-show, right?
Yeah, it was pre-show.
Yeah.
And I was doing something else, too. And Periscope is fine. It kind of takes a little bit to get everything back up and running.
Sure.
The backup battery thing is, I don't know about that. I feel like the light is
in theory, it works.
Well, it's not really.
Yeah.
I got to look into that. But it turns out I went to. It was a power because I asked you, the lights went down.
Yeah,
too.
it flickered. Yeah.
So basically, we took a power hit.
Yeah.
The system took a power hit here, like the electrical, everything. Not this building, but
it was the government, man. They were trying to shut us down, man. It's the man.
Very, very weird.
Yeah.
That was a very weird thing. And the problem is there's kind of a backup thing, but it's not really. It's running too much stuff, and so there's not. So you have to bring everything back up in the studio. The lights go back on, but everything else is dead.
Right.
So I was running around to see if. I actually was looking to see if we had a breaker.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come back.
Yeah.
And it turns out the breaker was fine. It just the unit has an alarm on it that you have to clear the alarm and bring it back up. So I may just swap that thing out. Period. And just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because at least it would then come back.
Oh.
Because I don't know. We'd have to have a pretty big battery. I mean, it only lasts for, even if we had a battery in here, it wouldn't last for very long. Because you're running a couple, you're running some equipment. The cameras run on battery.
Yeah.
They have batteries, but the other stuff doesn't. And it's pulling power.
Right.
And so it's not going to last for very long.
No, and I guess that's sort of redundant if your internet goes down because the modem doesn't have power.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
it takes the all of this is on the power, and actually the modem is supposed to be on its own
backup system,
but apparently it's not. I don't know why. So that was fun. We were right in the middle of a show, and we went away. It was like, what happened to those guys?
Yeah.
Total power. That's weird. Like summertime, it's we're next to a really. I've said this before. We're on a really good power grid for reasons.
Right.
We are actually on, it's like, maybe you're not on a very good power grid. No. When there's storms and people's power is going out,
this is the one area.
This is the one area where the power doesn't go out.
Right.
It has to do with being next to an emergency hospitals and emergency places. So, note to self: if you are close by one of those places, you're usually on a power grid that serves the emergency services, and those are the number one prime backup services that the power company has.
Right.
So that's our system, and yet, right in the middle of our show, ba-boom, pow.
It happens. Now, if this would have happened
I have to reset the Facebook and everything too. So
if this would have happened afternoon, I would have said it's like some government conspiracy at this point. They're trying to shut us down, man.
Anyway. It probably is anyway. Yeah. And I was right in the middle. We were just going along, and I was going to share something.
Yeah.
We were talking about music, and I was just about to share.
All right.
And sure enough,
bam.
Like, literally mid-sentence, I was like, let's do... And I was like, okay.
All right.
Let's not. I mean, we almost could just say, well, forget about it, you know.
Yeah.
Forget about it, right?
about it.
There I am, part 2.
Part deuce.
So I'm just going to share this back on my... Let's go live with Doc on Facebook here.
That's right.
Share. Post now, public. I should have said, fingers crossed.
Right.
All right, so back to where we were at in the show.
Right.
What time is it?
It is. It's got to be close. 10:30.
10:30.
Yeah. It's got to be close.
It would make our show really exciting if the power constantly went out or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome to Russian podcast. Power not on. All right.
Coffee with third world curmudgeons.
You deserve a musical interlude as we, the curmudgeons, gather our breath. Don't you think?
Sure.
Because we were going to do a little musical interlude.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what I was going to do. And so that's
Don't
exactly
worry.
what I'm going to do right now.
Be
Hopefully
happy.
this doesn't do a copyright thing. I don't know why it would. But we're going to do it anyway because we've already taken the power down.
Power surges be damned.
Right? Are you ready for this, Jason?
I am ready.
Let's do this. Here's your little musical interlude for today, folks. Coffee with Curmudgeons.
How tall are you?
6'4.5", just
Boy.
barely.
You ought to be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I ain't never in my life seen anything. Look here. I'd have to have a ladder to really talk to him. That's the reason we have a microphone pinned on him here, because I can't raise this mic high enough for you folks to hear him. This is Harlow Wilcox, which is our special guest this week. You had a record called Groovy Grubworm that sold over 1 million records, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, pretty close to it.
I want you to give the folks a demonstration out there what it sounded like.
All
Do you
right, we'll
mind?
be happy to.
All right. Harlow Wilcox, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
I'm a grubworm.
Groovy Grubworm. I love it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
sorry.
Harlow, man. Harlow Wilcox.
I was yes. Yeah, I'll have to get that album out. Sorry, I was actually using that time
Yeah.
to bring
Right.
the
audio stream.
audio stream back online, because that machine runs Windows 10, and so when the power went down, it said, "Hey, we got got an update for you. We're just going to sit here and do an update because one great thing about Microsoft, is scheduling your updates and making it. It kind of does, but it's invasive. They decide to do.
They do it on their time.
Yeah, not on your time, and that's not very mission critical. And I know they're like, well, you need to get professional, or whatever. No, you're forcing this Windows on us. So come on,
right?
You know, I mean, at least with the Mac, Apple, you can blow it off indefinitely. And I often do. Well, people don't understand about the whole, what do I want to say, the whole updates. Mm-hmm. Yes, you should update your computer you use every day. You go surfing, you do all that stuff, your email. But there's sometimes people use computers for, like live streaming or something like that. And those computers maybe don't need or want to be updated willy-nilly, especially when they're doing work and taken down. But so that was your music. I was going to share that. I was actually just about to share that when we were so rudely interrupted by the power.
Yeah, how dare you, power surge?
But that was Harlow
Wilcox.
Harlow Wilcox and the Okies.
And the Okies. I wonder if they're really from Oklahoma.
I think he was from Oklahoma. I think that's
what his band, though. I mean, were his band from Oklahoma? Are they all from Oklahoma?
I want to know. I should have brought the record down. There is the actual, but I'll show you the groovy groovy grubworm. That was groovy grubworm.
That's beautiful.
And that was a million seller.
Yeah, go figure.
That was a million seller. I'll show you the album cover here. There it is.
Tell you what's another million seller? His blue leisure suit.
Oh man,
I want one of those.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I want to pin the NuzBox button on a blue leisure suit.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
People see that and they're like, man, this guy means business. He's got a blue leisure suit. He's not just taking us lightly. He's taking us seriously. He's got that blue leisure suit on. That's right.
There it is right there. That's your Harlow Wilcox and the Okies, Groovy Grubworm and Other Golden Guitar Greats. This one has Wipeout.
Wipeout.
Yeah, this is I don't remember Wipeout being on the record. What was the one we liked?
Look at that cover. It's a little psychedelic.
This is a different issue because that is a different track list than what I was listening to last night.
Look at that.
Let me see if there's another. Different. Yeah, it's got a groovy. He's got boots and a peace sign. And a peace sign.
It's not your average.
Here we go. How about this one?
I was thinking more of like a Marty Robbins sort of cover looking thing, but no.
Honky Tonk. Oh, that was the tune. Here's a little bit better picture right here of the groovy grubworm.
Groovy. There he is
with the love hat. Yeah, and the glasses and the tongue sticking out. That's your groovy grubworm.
Yeah,
and the boots.
I know what my
next. This might have been 1967.
Oh.
Groovy Grubworm, Wipeout, which I don't remember Wipeout being on there. Walk, Don't Run, The Gold Eagle, Raunchy. Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Sad is the Lonely. I love that one. Sad is the
Sad
Lonely.
is the Lonely.
Golden Guitar Flower, Mexico, Wheels, Guitar Boogie, Honky Tonk, and the last one, which I was really thought was great, Moose Trot.
Moose Trot.
That's
some walking music right there.
Yeah. So last night, I used to make cocktails.
Ah.
Amateur,
little mixology going on there.
The good old days, not the bad old days of Doc Normal's life. The good old days of my life.
Shaken, not stirred.
Amateur mixology.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, I can, just like cooking. You're like, oh, I think I've read a few books. I know a few of the classic recipes. Yeah. Now I'm going to make my own.
You're going to try your hand at this.
Yeah, Portland had a big cocktail thing, and I knew one of those bartender mixologist ladies who invented a lot of cool cocktails, Yeah. And so I used to do that. And so last night I had occasion to kind of celebrate, and so I was like, oh, I think I'll do it. So I made something, and I was trying to name it.
Yeah.
And this was a cocktail that the main ingredient cocktail, the booze, was sake.
Ooh,
Japanese sake.
Wow.
It was very, very good, by the way.
I'll have more of that rice wine, thank you.
Sake is great, and sake cocktails and that.
Yeah.
So the Japanese do two things with sake. They drink it warm, and they also drink it cold. And it can be different types of sake that you either. So in the summertime, when you're in the summertime, and you drink the sake. Maybe Japan, maybe Japanese, maybe
hopefully.
I don't know. Yeah. You would probably drink it cold, and then in the other time when it's winter or whatever, you drink it warm. So cold, so you can make a nice cocktail with sake. And
there you go.
Infused a lot of Asian flavors, and it was very, very good. It was like the most refreshing, like summer drink. You'd be like, "Oh, this just tastes like summer in my mouth."
Ooh. Even more than a Ernest Hemingway mojito?
Yeah, it was actually kind of like that, but it was you know what, it was lighter than a mojito. I mean, it was kind of mojito-ish, but a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to look here. Oh, maybe it would be me. So I had to name. So I'm like, well, I need a name for my cocktail, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it is called, I have to look it up here because it has a name. Come on, Facebook. Here it is. In Japanese, it's the Natsu no Kiryu. Kiryu. Kiryu.
Yeah.
Natsu no Kiryu.
Say that 5 times fast. Heck, just say it 5 times.
Well, that's what it's called. I even have the kanji for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't provide, but it's summer cucumber.
There you go.
That's
you own it now.
That's right.
Intellectual property,
That's
man.
right.
You own
There's
it.
a cucumber on the thing.
Nice.
So I'll show you. You know what? We've lost all our marbles.
Yeah.
So
well, quite a while ago, actually. Hey, promise me one thing, dude.
Promise
me one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah.
Nothing in all time ever starts out good.
Right.
When a person says, promise me one thing.
Promise me one thing.
You know what I mean?
The next drink that you think up, right? The next one you concoct, you're like, wow, this works. You have to name it the Groovy Grubworm.
Well, that's kind of because we happen to be making cocktails and enjoying this. I'll show you the. What did I call it? Then I'd have to look it up. The summer cucumber. Here it is, right here, folks. That's what it looks like. Very fashionable. You got a little cucumber, a little ginger in there. Anyway, I'm thinking of selling the recipe for $10. $10.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
I want my $10.
So the music, we had some of that Harlow, that Wilcox playing. Some picking and some grinning, Harlow Wilcox with the groovy, and so we'd have a groovy grubworm. Sad is the lonely,
right?
You know what that is? It's a gin drink. It is
really.
It is, yeah, you know what? It's like a gin martini that you would drink alone. Sad is the lonely.
I drink alone. Little George Thorogood.
The moose trot. The moose trot. The moose trot is Kahlua with spices in it, because you'll be doing the moose trot later when you're
right. That's
when
a
you're
repeater.
done drinking that baby. Woo!
They should have named it the repeater.
Yes. So yeah, we were writing these down. And we realized what would be great is if we had the if we had the funny, we would go and open a club called the Groovy Grubworm. With the neon sign with the Groovy Grubworm.
A giant neon grubworm up there, and he's hanging
with the hat that says love and the peace sign, the Groovy Grubworm.
Yeah.
That's right out of something like Twin Peaks, let me tell you.
Yeah, the Groovy. Where are you going down? Because the people in the know. If you're on the inside, right? Folks, if you're one of the cool kids, you don't call it the Groovy Grubworm. Oh no, you got your own special lingo. You're like, hey, Jason, where you going, dude? I'm gonna go hang out at the GG. I'm going down to GG. Yeah.
Exactly, the Groovy.
Dude, I'll see you down there later.
Wouldn't that be a great name for a club, the Groovy? And I just imagine neon. The groovy grub worm, right?
Yeah, and people get really ripped on those drinks, and the next thing you know, they're doing this giant conga line, which can be called the grub worm.
Moose trot shots.
Moose trot shots. That's a Monday special.
Yeah.
It's a Monday
That would
special.
be the. Okay, everybody, it's 10 o'clock, and here's Jason with the Moose Trot shots.
Shots, that's
Step them
right.
up. We got Moose Trot shots.
We got,
at the bar.
we got Mimosa Mondays.
That's right.
We got Moose Trot Wednesdays, because it's
That's
hump
right.
day. You need a Moose Trot. Yeah.
We're revealing all our best ideas.
Right. Next thing you know, somewhere in Boise, Idaho is going to be opening up this place called the Groovy Grub Worm. And we're going, damn you, Idaho! Because they stole the idea.
Don't worry, be happy.
Exactly. Just
There you go.
slough it off, man.
Yeah. That would be part of our commercial.
Right. Don't
That'd be it's like, hey, I'm Doc Normal, and this is Jason Allen. Come on down to our new place, the Groovy Grub Worm, where we say,
Don't worry, be happy.
right?
Right next to the Piggly Wiggly.
And then we actually needed Wilcox and ding 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 ding.
Right, he's in the
ding,
background,
ding,
is-
ding, 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 ding.
He is our house band.
Yeah.
I mean, on Friday night, here comes Harlow through
Yeah.
the door. He's got his Telecaster. He's ready to go, man.
Yeah, Harlow was an interesting guy. He was a session guy. And you can kind of tell because he's like real picking there, kind of
Yeah.
you know. And he got together a group of session guys and did the Groovy Grub Worm and all that stuff. And who knew this album sold 1 million copies? It was actually on the charts.
Yeah.
Like number 30 or something. It sold. It was a crossover hit. The kids liked it. The families liked it. I love the weird dude, the weird small dude, with the weird red jacket. It's all this stuff is like right out of Twin Peaks, man. Hey, I'm here with I'm here with Harlow. Wilcox and with the groovy. What is he? A groovy grub. Let's listen. I mean, he's got a slick back hair, man. That guy's. Woo.
You know who he reminded me of?
Who?
Seriously? I thought
Who?
Conway Twitty with Hard Living.
Boy, he did.
He
Right?
had that kind of that
It's
look
like,
to
who
him,
is he?
except
Like,
Conway. This is Conway gone to seed. You know.
I don't know. I don't know what show that was or anything either. You know, it was like
Yeah.
you just. We were just like googling, you know, Harlow Wilcox, and then you know, you got the music, but then it's like, ooh, rare video.
Yeah.
You know, you always want to go with the rare video because then you got the blue jackets.
Yeah.
And the tie and the
Yeah.
Telecaster. Okay, so the people say there's lots of jazzes, there's lots of rockses, there's lots of classicals.
Subgenres.
And there's lots of countries-ish too. And so
Yeah.
people generally, you know, kind of do I don't like country. I don't. And I'm like one of when I'm like, yeah, country's. No, I'm jazz. You know, classical rock. You know,
Yeah.
but that's not true.
That's not true at all.
There's lots of the music.
Yep.
You know, there's the bluegrass stuff, the folk stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
We were talking about the other day around 4th of July.
Some rockabilly you can
You know,
trace.
love rockabilly. And I used
You
to,
know?
here's the thing, I used to play that too.
Yeah.
The jazz and the blues and the heavy metal and the rockabilly and the classical.
Yeah.
All at the same time. Not in the same band.
He's a
'cause that
one-man
would be
band.
stupid.
But
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like worthy of a gong show, then.
Yeah. I mean, you're working.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I love that stuff. I'm actually need to ask someone if we ever did play Groovy Grubworm
Yeah.
in that band, because it's like, did we do Groovy? Was that one of ours? Did we do? We covered that one because it seemed perfect for that band.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the picking. I like the instrumental stuff,
Yeah.
the guitar kind of stuff, and the kind of rockabilly. The Blasters, remember the Blasters? They came
The
out.
Ventures, right?
Dave Alvin, I think it was.
Okay.
They hang out up here in Portland.
Santo and Johnny.
Yeah.
Sleepwalk.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
The Ventures.
Yeah, the Ventures. I like the stuff. It kind of crosses over. You know, you kind of got that country influence that then kind of crosses over.
Yeah.
And you kind of got the country, and then there's like a country blues kind of.
Oh, sure.
You know, and yeah, we dig that stuff.
Sure. I mean, the country kind of bluesy sort of thing. I mean, Fats Domino.
Yeah.
I mean, before he was I'm walking, yes, indeed. I mean, he had some bluesy sort of stuff to it. you listen to Harlow Wilcox. I said, man, he and I commented on this last night. I said he looks country, but that sound is kind of like rockabilly, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it all these kind of this fusion because remember back in the mid '60s, you kind of had the influx what they called for lack of a better term, surfer music, the Jan and Dean or the Ventures.
It's all Americana kind of
yeah.
that. I mean, it's kind of in that umbrella of American.
Sort of Western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I like that. I think that's it. I like country Western.
Yeah.
Country Western.
Yeah.
Kind of when they went, like the pop stuff, the pop country and that stuff that really went slick. I'm not.
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe somebody's got a tune, but I'm not. So I'm real old school.
Oh yeah.
Hank Williams.
Yes.
Johnny Cash.
Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah. So yeah.
Conway Twitty. Hello, darling.
Oh yeah. Nice to meet you.
Right. Been a long time. Yeah, Conway.
Stand by your man.
Exactly.
George Jones.
That's right.
Oh man,
Old country, man.
Yeah, I mean that stuff just gets you, and get your fifth of bourbon, fifth
Right.
of whiskey,
Right.
get your dog.
You got your Ring of Fire, your Folsom City, your Folsom Blues,
Right.
and you're ready.
That's
to...
all just Americana. I mean, that's the whole thing. I think it's hard because you have these things, and like you say, it's like, I don't like that country music. You turn on the country radio, I don't like what I don't. That's not
Willie Nelson, man.
But then you're just like, but what if I play you something from this old school stuff here? And you're like, oh, well, yeah. I dig that. I dig that guitar. The guitar sounds, just like the blues. I mean, half of it is the guitar sound.
It's the tone, man.
When you hear a B.B. King,
yes,
you hear his
the
guitar
thrill is gone,
sound.
baby.
Lucille,
yes,
Bo Diddley,
Muddy
Waters,
John Lee Hooker,
right?
And
then you got this guy,
Howlin' Wolf,
Harlow Wilcox,
right?
He's got a guitar sound that Telecaster sound, and that's I love that. That guitar.
Yeah, even country music. I mean, there's different sort of
Huge
genres.
guitar sound.
Remember Dwight Yoakam, the whole Bakersfield sound had that sort of Western tint to it.
So this was the thing on the internet.
Yeah,
they're saying Harlow was from Bakersfield.
There you go. That
was the whole thing. The Bakersfield thing. That Dwight Yoakam was always all right. Mm-hmm. He was all right. He released a bluegrass album, I guess, recently, last couple years.
I can see that.
But he's an all right guy. He's got his stuff together.
Thinking of the song way back when Galveston.
Yeah.
Galveston.
Yeah.
Oh, Galveston.
But anyway, what's his name? If you watch, I keep just talking about Twin Peaks. I'm sorry, but the movie Firewalk with Me, which is kind of a prequel to the TV show, which is actually it's actually a really good movie. Which is pre Kyle MacLachlan, so he's not so in that movie. He's in the TV series, not the movie, because it happens. It's like the prequel, like the Phantom Menace of Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Chris Isaacs plays one of the.
Chris Isaacs.
What was one of the main agents? Like he's the main FBI guy, right? And he's got his hair slicked back. Chris Isaacs, his music.
There's a Wicked Game.
Yeah.
Baby done a bad thing.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
When
man.
he came out, I was like, oh wow,
had a sort of Elvis Southern sort of vibe.
Well, and that's the thing. Then you get the rock. You get someone like Elvis or whatever, he's taken the country, Memphis, the country, and the blues, and the rock, and he's kind of pulling it all together, and the gospel. Yes, because a lot of this is gospel. So
it's how a lot of it started.
This is gospel. All American music. This is America. I mean, there's so many things we can be kind of, should we say, a little annoyed about America these days.
Just a few. And we'll get to that at noon.
Yeah. You can talk about that at noon for an hour.
Yeah.
Bitch, moan.
I'm
But
today's gonna be special.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, even with the power going out,
Yeah.
As I look over there, is everything?
Yeah,
all systems going?
I know. I've been looking at the whole time.
We had the Apollo 13 of live podcasts.
We
today.
are. We're
Failure
slinging-
is not an option, folks. No. We will work this problem.
We went dark for a few minutes as we're slingshotting around the moon,
That's
but we
right.
make it. We're on the other side now.
Yeah, we didn't quite land on the moon with this one, but God, no one.
We got in the range.
But the thing you can be proud of America is its music.
Oh, yes.
All this stuff we're talking about. The country western, the bluegrass, the folk music, all American, all people. And where did it all originate? Average Americans, lower class Americans, I will argue and tell you, yes. Because if you actually look at European music, the classical, right?
Yeah.
Who are those people? Well, upper echelon, they went to school.
Yes.
They were trained.
Yes.
I mean, they were not royalty. They weren't royalty, but the royalty...
Aristocratic.
Right, the aristocrats.
Upper crust.
The royalty or the church funded these people.
Yes, the patronage system. Yes,
they're the patronage. So these people, they were kind of considered hired help in the old days. The musicians,
play from the
Haydn
musician
was kind of, and his band was kind of considered hired help, but he was still Haydn though. I mean, it's there's one thing bringing in a tray of chocolates for the king. Versus composing a fanfare for the king and performing it.
Yeah, Haydn's only coming out for your Super Bowls,
Yeah.
He's strictly A game. You're not bringing him out for just, Saturday.
But, but they still were working in okay conditions, I would say, better than other people. Sure. They weren't working in the mud. They were working in the palace. Just keep your instrument and get your music and all that stuff. So, I mean... kind of the aristocrat, but the music, that music was made for the aristocrats.
That's exactly right. Entertainment.
Popes and the cardinals and the all those people until, like we said, we start to get into the kind of the Mozart, but then the Beethoven thing, music for the people, the folks, then it really gets to be more for the people. America. The music is for you were working out in the field.
Yep.
All day. On your farm, whatever. Mm-hmm. And have a long day. Maybe you have, I don't know if you have a beverage. I don't know what you do. A smoke or whatever.
Yep.
And maybe you stand up for a crappy little guitar.
Yep.
And you played it.
That's right.
For yourself.
Yep.
And your family.
And your fam.
And your friends.
Yep.
You had a hoedown.
The hoedown.
If you had a hootenanny.
Yeah.
Right?
But even before
it's like people's music,
right? But even before that,
people,
look
by the people.
Look at where ragtime and the blues originated, though. The kind of the old plantation dirges.
Well, yeah, the spirituals and the
but the rhythmic of it, And,
of course, we don't like to point out that some of the ragtime originated in brothels, Jason. But look up your history of your piano players, and
or the blues coming out of slavery. Post.
if you didn't have the spirituals.
Right, exactly.
The slavery, the spirituals, which was then the gospel, which then the blues, Western instruments like guitars and trumpets and drums and things like that get in the hand of black people. Then the music starts to become, if you look at jazz and the roots of jazz, it's European music. They're using chords that, that is in classical music, is A minor, it's a seventh chord. That's all happening over there.
But it's adapted for their inner sort of...
are from the spiritual, which, ultimately come from Africa, or they talk about the Caribbean, the Cuban, that sort of thing, African Cuban rhythms. So all that stuff is the people's music. So it's really kind of socialist. It's really kind of not so, and that's the problem.
Music is from the bottom up, man.
Like, what if we invented American music today? What if we said there's American music starts to invent today? We would not have this. We would not have the people's music. We would have corporate crapola,
electronic dance music.
We'd have to be like, funded by, big companies. Because like if you go, because if you think about the big venue concerts and you think of the big stuff, it's all like big brand, big box brand. So and this
so depressing.
brand presents.
Yeah,
the Hanson brothers. It's like
if it's
no
done
thanks.
today, it's not even songs. This is why I'm getting depressed right now. You ready for this?
No, I meant to.
It's no longer songs at this point. It's jingles.
Yeah.
To sell stuff.
I see. My intention was not to depress you. My intention
Madison
was to show
Avenue
how
Mine Worms.
great America was, especially we're talking a lot of this music. I mean, this music has roots in the 19th century. It goes back, but mostly that music is influenced highly by European influences.
Yeah.
Like if you even look at like what morphed out of the Cajun music and that that was influenced by French and all sorts of stuff and Caribbean, but we really we hit the 20th century, which becomes the American century, and the American music. I mean, yes, it comes over from the 19th century, but we really hit the stride. We invent country western, we invent jazz, we basically invent the blues. All that stuff in rock and roll is invented in the 20th century.
Gospel. Coming out of the old spirituals,
Well, and I feel like gospel really influenced all of those genres. And so and that's like the first half of the century, really.
Yeah.
That all that stuff comes online, as you would say, in America. And all from average, people.
No, yeah.
Obviously when, musicians got good and they were great and people wanted to hear them, they made a living at it,
Yeah.
And then you get to the 60s where it's so influential, it gets exported off into Europe, specifically England, London, gets reworked and sent back.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, this stuff is so good, you don't even know America. We're going to rework it here in our own British way. Our former masters of the colonies, the English, they rework the whole dang thing, send it back, come back, they invade again. They have a British invasion. This time, instead of carrying muskets and red coats, what do they carry? Guitars. Keith Richards' bags of tricks, and various other things.
Yes.
The Beatles, the Stones. Jimi Hendrix leaves the South and goes to London to make it big.
Yeah, heck, the Rolling Stones.
Talked about that.
Where did the Rolling Stones get their name from?
That's right. So I mean, I think I'm glad I brought this up because this Harlow guy,
Harlow Wilcox.
Yeah, Harlow Wilcox.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just makes you happy.
It does.
And you do kind of get the flag. You almost start to get that America tinge there, where you're like, well, is this is this French music? Why, no, this is not Debussy. This is America. This guy right here is America playing American music. All the guitars, the electric guitars, Les Paul.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Inventing the electric guitar, Les Paul.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, listen.
The Telecaster, that was not invented somewhere else. Now, yes, they may make them in China now, of course. There you go.
The Fender.
But all of those were made, the Gibsons, all these stuff were invented and made for American music here in America.
Yeah.
I sound like, but I think we spend so much time right now, it's so depressed about America and the United States and Americans, and we go off in Europe and everything, and the Europeans are like the German, the French. They're like, "What the hell are you? What are you guys doing?
What the hell?
What the hell are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, don't tell me because you had your moment in the sun." Oh yeah, well, never mind. But anyway,
right? Yeah.
Oof, oof. You should not talk. But this is the stuff that you kind of go, wow. American music, made by Americans, not some elitist bullcrap, big box corporation or whatever.
That's
just people making music, innovating,
Yeah. When people say country western, it's almost the western part is almost a misnomer, right? Because I think what people mean by western is uniquely American.
Yeah.
You know, and there's one genre we didn't even touch on yet that is huge.
Reggae.
Well, that too, but I'm talking more like guys,
Reggae, not American.
the old
like
traveling troubadour guys in the early 20th century, especially during the Depression, the Woody Guthries.
Yeah.
That spawned the folk, folk, which now, is now acoustic,
That's right.
sort of easy listening sort of stuff. But, I mean, when you listen to one of the greatest team-ups
Even
of all
easy
time.
listening, Perry Como,
Right.
American music.
Do you want a team up that's going to blow your mind? You ready for this?
Blow my mind.
Blow your mind. It actually
mind.
happened, and if you go on YouTube, you can look it up and watch it. Some guy got the idea of we're going to team up Woody Guthrie with Leadbelly.
Oh, there you go.
And they worked well together. Really well.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, because Leadbelly had the deep Delta blues.
Wow.
And Woody had that working man's sort of
You gotta find
Oklahoma.
that link. Send it to me.
I will. And I was watching this Woody Guthrie documentary, and that's when I saw it. The whole Leadbelly. They did like 4 specials early on radio. It was like I want to say like maybe 1940, somewhere in the early 40s. And you would think that Guthrie and Leadbelly, but they totally mesh. And they would get up there and they would do this. I mean, this is how raw it was in the old days. They would get up there and then do this sort of improv where they would riff off each other.
There is a 25-minute YouTube of the radio show 1940.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a record.
Yeah. They released them
December
in record form.
12th, 1940, WNYC,
There you go.
New York.
Yep.
Leadbelly and Woody Guthrie. There's a great
Guthrie was in
picture
the
it looks like Leadbelly, he's playing 12-string.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Guthrie back then was living in New York City, and he was living in the in Greenwich Village, and he had his own radio. They brought him on, and him and Leadbelly.
Wow.
And it blew people's minds, because I mean this really goes to the Americanism of it, right? That you had this working class Oklahoma Okie, Dust Bowl guy. And Leadbelly was like, man, I'm kind of akin to that because, south of the Mason-Dixon line,
That's what, that's why we bring this up. Because the missing piece is there was a time when Americans dropped their differences sometimes to come together. Like if you're in the Dust Bowl and you're poor.
Yeah.
It may not matter what color your skin is. You're still in the Dust Bowl and poor. And you're getting affected by what's going on there as everyone else. And sometimes, like this, in this culture, the music brought people together. And people would listen and appropriate, obviously.
They would feed off each other, right?
And so I think that makes me happy about America. That's the stuff that you can...
It does.
Hang on to.
That sort of stuff gives me hope. It's always with the very personal things like music and food and cooking, right?
Yeah.
You take a lot of different styles and you incorporate it and you mesh it and it becomes your own unique fabric. And especially music.
That's right.
And that tickles me pink when I see how did I live this long without knowing Leadbelly and Woody Guthrie got together in 1940?
Well, I think that's a good find.
It is,
and I think that would be a good play out.
Yeah,
we'll give it a little roll and play it out, and hopefully we'll keep the lights on for you,
right?
Like the Motel 6.
Yeah, it's that communal spirit, though, man.
If the lights don't go out,
this land is your land.
Yeah.
This land is my land.
From California
right.
to the power outage.
The lights don't go out in Oregon, man. The lights went out in Oak Grove.
Well, that was an interesting show.
Yeah.
And so, I think we'll say...
It's that time, isn't it?
We'll say goodbye and have a great rest of the week. We'll be back on Friday because that'll be a lot of nice fun. And here's some Woody Guthrie and Leadbelly for you.
Come back at noon.